I'll tell you the goals that animate President Trump's policy. It's really simple. He wants the killing to stop. He wants to bring lasting peace to Europe. He doesn't just want to stop it now and have the war restart a month from now. He wants to bring lasting peace to Europe because the president believes this, and he's absolutely right. Peace is in the interest of Russia, it's in the interest of Ukraine, it's in the interest of Europe, but most importantly, peace is in the interest of the American people, and he's going to fight for it for the remainder of his administration. Wherever war breaks out, he's going to be the president of peace.
Vice President JD Vance talking about the goals of President Trump and what he would like to achieve with his policies. The vice president speaking at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC. Today also marks 1 month since Trump took office for his second term. NewsNation's Libby Dean joining us from the White House with more. JD Vance talked about our borders, and he also talked about some developments in Ukraine, which we've had some news and some reporting on this morning with Russia's invasion.
Yeah, hey, Marni. JD Vance speaking for a little under an hour there at CPAC. Of course, the Conservative Political Action Committee conference that is happening in Maryland, just a little bit out from where I'm at now. Now, JD Vance, yeah, he hit a lot of topics, some of those being, of course, illegal immigration. He talked about abortion. He also talked about the Russia-Ukraine war, and he also talked about DOGE and Elon Musk's role in the administration. If we have that sound, I want us to play it really quick.
And then I think the third thing that he's tried to do, of course, with the help of Elon and all the great folks at DOGE, is ask, what are we doing with all of the American taxpayers' money, and why are we wasting so much of it on garbage that the American people either aren't aware that we're spending it on or don't want to be spending it on in the first place?
Now, highlighting Musk's influence there, Elon Musk's influence on the Trump administration, an interesting choice by JD Vance, considering we've seen Elon Musk at President Trump's side more often than the vice president himself. We saw him stand by the Resolute desk, do that press conference. We saw the joint interview with President Trump and Elon Musk earlier this week. And even in that interview, the interviewer described them as brothers. This also comes after Trump said that Vance is not the inherent GOP heir, and that is something to watch for as well. He has said that on the campaign trail, but reiterated it in a recent interview as well. But a lengthy speech there with a lot of highlights from JD Vance at CPAC. We know there's going to be a lot of other A-list speakers as well, people like Attorney General Pam Bondi. And we're also going to hear from the president himself come Saturday. Marni?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.